What is going on, everybody? Hope you're all good. This video is probably coming a bit late because it's past Christmas, but for Christmas I got an Innofader. So obviously I've already installed it and stuff because I want to use it as soon as I can, but today I'm going to show you how to install it. It's the Innofader Pro 2 from Audio Innovate. It's really good. Like, you know, if you're thinking of buying one, then definitely, and it can fit like loads and loads of mixers. It's got the whole list on the back, so you know it's definitely a good purchase. On the Numark M101, it's actually quite hard, and I really couldn't figure out how to do it because the diagrams and stuff it gives you don't really help, because it's one of the hardest to install on. But today I'm going to show you how to do it, so if any of you have the same kind of mixer, hopefully you'll see this video and you know it won't be too much of a hassle. But yeah, let's get into it. First of all, obviously what you need to do is you need to take your mixer out and just unplug everything. Alright, trying to do this all with one hand, but here we go. Also got the power cable at the back. So here's the mixer. Let's bring it over to the workspace and let's get going. This is the old Numark fader, which I'm keeping because just in case like I need to you know, buy another mixer and stuff. But you already know it's not the best fader. It's pretty stiff. This one, look at that. So it's so unstiff. It's so smooth that when you tip it, it actually falls. When you tip this, it just stays there, so you can do some super good cuts and stuff. But it is hard to install, so let's find the right attachment thing. The main one is you need to do the sides. Not that one. Okay, good thing I got that, but we got this. So, and it doesn't have the attachment, obviously. Alright, I've got this one. So let's just go ahead, unscrew everything. Okay, so that's the plate off, but we still need to go further. We need to take this out, and I'm not going to unscrew the fader from its position because that's not really necessary, but it's very big. But luckily the thing has a lot of space, so I'm going to show you like all the circuits and stuff that you need to worry about. But basically this is the fader. It's very cool, but to get it in you need to even take off these sides. So if we can get like another cup or something. These ones are a bit tough because they're what's holding the whole mixer together. It needs to come out, and you should probably keep holding the thing at all times because it can very easily drop out. You don't need to take this bottom one out because that's what's holding all the inputs and stuff, but hopefully, yeah, this is free. Okay, very important at this stage, there are lots of wires underneath, so before you do anything you need to make sure you've properly unplugged all the wires and stuff. So I'd recommend unplugging these two first. That controls the mic input and the headphones, so if you can, get your hand in, just kind of wiggle them out. I don't really care too much about the mic one because I never use it, but the headphones are very important that you get out properly. I'm not the most fiddly person, but yeah. So hopefully you can kind of see what's in there, and you have to unplug it. You can lift this up. I'm going to unplug all of these first. I'm always worried about snapping the circuit board. You don't actually have to unplug channel 1 and 2, it's just so you can kind of get more space and see what you're doing. Hopefully that gives you an idea of what's in there. And the diagrams don't show that you have to go this deep into it. So, you know, that's the first thing you've got to worry about. But basically, over you can see on the left is channel 1, then in the middle is channel 2, so that's where your inputs for your record players come in, and then channel 3 is the crossfader. And the crossfader usually just comes out of this thing here. So let me unplug the whole Innofader setup type thing. You have to use a bit of force, but obviously not too much because I'm actually very worried about breaking this. So we can get this whole system. Right, that's the fader. This is just your normal crossfader input where you'd put this in, but obviously we're not going to. Okay, so never mind. Anyway, basically, this thing needs what's called like external power, so it needs the mixer to reroute some of the power going to this. So it gives you this adapter. It all comes in the box. It all comes in the box, and you get it out of one of those bags, and it's all named. You can see here, Numark M101, and this is the power adapter. So you get the power adapter. It does show you a diagram, which is actually quite a helpful diagram, about how the power goes. That's pretty simple to follow. So what you do is you just get it and you just copy the lines. And once you've done that, you need to link the two together. So this goes in there, and you need to link it to the power thing. Now the thing that I didn't understand is that there's a lot of kind of like rerouting going on. So hopefully you can see in there that I'm taking this thing that comes from the crossfader, which usually goes there, plugging it into the power adapter, and then you take this, which is already kind of pre-put in, you plug that into the crossfader channel. So this, all the coloured things are from the Innofader. This thing plugs into the power channel. That's pretty easy. Then what you do is you just, it's a pretty long cable, so it doesn't stretch or anything. You come under here into the crossfader slot. Obviously trying not to break anything, because there's a lot of like soldering and stuff. You don't need to do any soldering, but you know, don't break the soldering that's already there. You just put that through here, and then this thing underneath just plugs in to the crossfader thing as it normally would if you have any other fader. So you put that in there and you're all good to go for the crossfader. So it's actually really simple once you think of it. It's just not really easy to visualize what's going on under here. I need to reconnect channel 1, which is here, and then I need to basically do everything back up. So I'm going to leave it like that and put this plate back on so that it doesn't slip through and that I don't have to do it later. Now that everything's kind of internally done, you just need to go about screwing it back on. It sits deeper than you think, so you've got to get the faceplate on. So I think it's not actually that hard. Obviously this is like the second or third time me doing it, so it's probably a little bit easier for me because I know what to do. But that's a thing. It just seems really hard because you've obviously probably never had to properly go into the circuits of the mixer. But this is kind of just a video to help you just see where you can put it in. And usually once I saw all this stuff down here, it was fairly obvious what you had to do. It's just it didn't actually show you on the pictures, on the things it gives you, and I couldn't find any videos on YouTube about how to do it, so this is kind of that, just giving you a little bit of help. So yeah, that's pretty solid. We can put the thing back on here like that. Everything seems to be working fine, so what I'm going to do is just put the faceplate back on, okay, we're on. I kind of want to see if I can get another faceplate to get rid of these rack things, because obviously I've never put it in a rack, so they kind of just annoy me because they don't actually fit. they don't actually fit to my turntables that well. There's a little gap, so I know I'll see if I can get a different faceplate. Check that nothing actually shakes around, otherwise that'll be quite bad. But yeah, we've got it all in. Okay, we can put these back on now, the channel faders. Alright, cool. So, I'll show you how to plug it all in and set up the fader, because it's actually like a few settings that you can do. So everything's in. Let's go ahead, turn it on. Right, so a bit of a story. I was testing it with my MPC when I plugged it in on Christmas Day, and I don't know if you can hear on the camera, when you turn it up, it produces like a buzzing noise. And obviously the MPC has a lower output than these records. So when I turned on the MPC and I played my beat and all I could hear was this, I was like, oh my God, I've got the wrong thing. This is such an old mixer, I'm gonna have to get rid of it or like get a new one. But then I plugged in my record players. And when you actually turn on the record, to get a pretty loud sound on the record, I mean, yes, you can still hear that, but this just drowns it out so much. So, not a problem. Don't even worry about it. You don't even hear it when you're scratching and stuff. It's literally just when you're playing this. So I'm probably going to get a second mixer to plug this in so that I can sample without that noise. But I mean, if it really does bother you or something, just turn these up a tiny bit, gain it up, turn these up just a tiny bit, just to drown out that noise. It said the noise was about 10k, and it said if it's really that bad, you can probably put some 10k band resistors in here, but I don't know how to do that. I don't really know what they are. I just can't be bothered because it's not actually that bad. But so if you hear that noise, just play a record and you'll realize it isn't actually that bad. So with the fader, it's got these things, cut, and curve. And you know how faders have like two curves? You can have it where they kind of gently fade into each other, or you can have it like where it pretty much instantly comes on, so you can do really cool cuts and stuff. I've set it to more of an instant curve because I do more scratching than like actual gentle mixes and stuff, so I don't really need that. And also, if you do need to do a gentle mix, you can always control the volume of it here, you know, bring it into the middle, gently bring this up and then over to the side, so I don't think that's a problem. And then the cut, it gives you like a lag time. So obviously I don't want it to come on instantly because I need a bit of leeway to you know, move your fingers and stuff. So I've set it to about where it comes in this first line. So look at that, bit of movement and it comes on instantly, which is really good for like crab scratches and stuff, which I've actually learned to do, so I'm pretty impressed with that. Screw it back in and show you just what it does. So in terms of scratching and stuff, it's really good. Like I can now do the crab scratching stuff. And you can do like stabs really well because you only need to click it. So yeah, hopefully that gives you some kind of idea of what you need to do. You know, if you got any more questions, then just leave them down in the comments, and I'll do my best to answer them. But yeah, thanks for watching. Subscribe if you're not already. We're almost to 400, so you know, let's try and get that before the end of the year. Yeah, see you in the next one.